Just look what this administration is trying to push on the backs of the American people. A backdoor EPA cap-and-trade scheme that would increase the cost of energy for every American who has the audacity to turn on a light. A health care law that penalizes employers with massive tax hikes, even hitting individuals earning under $250,000 a year. Card check legislation that would give even more power to the unions and would take away the right to a secret ballot election. A financial regulation bill that will make it more difficult for Main Street America to access critical credit. And as we discussed yesterday in the Senate Finance Committee, the largest tax increase in history is looming over the American taxpayers if we don't act to extend critical tax relief that was enacted in 2001 and 2003. Now, it's time this administration and its Capitol Hill allies stopped its job-killing agenda that is acting as a brake on the ability of our economy to grow.
The Federal Reserve yesterday reported that they don't anticipate at the end of the year unemployment in the rosiest scenario to be below 9.2%. If this were a health disease we were here to talk about today, we would refer to it as an epidemic, and as a country we would stop everything and do everything we could possibly do to solve the problem. The debate in Congress has been over whether we extend unemployment benefits, not whether we create jobs. That's wrong. The direction is wrong. We've seen an increase in health care costs. We've seen the FCC bring new broadband internet regulations. We've seen the Department of Labor, the EPA, constantly talk about new regulations. We've seen new taxes on healthcare innovation. We've seen at least the blueprint of a plan for cap and trade. We've seen the expiration of our current tax rates anticipated for the end of the year. And along with that, the reinstatement of the death tax. That's not a scenario that makes investors comfortable at providing the type of private capital needed for job creation to get started in this country. Very simply, what do we need? We need predictable tax and regulatory policy. We need government to get out of the way. If those three things can't happen, we will not free up the credit that the private sector needs for job creation to happen in this country.
You know, the president may believe that we're on the right track, but fewer than 1 in 3 Americans believe we're on the right track. Yesterday, the vice president said that the so-called stimulus package, he said that that had worked. The White House actually said that the stimulus package had performed better than they had expected. Well, fewer than 1 in 4 Americans agree with them. That's because, as I see it, because of the stimulus, we are deeper in debt. So we are deeper in debt and have very little to show for it.
I can't think of a time in our history in Florida, at least in modern times, certainly in my lifetime, when things have been as bad as they are now. And when I talk to small business owners and large business owners in Florida, and I try to find reason for optimism and hope, what I hear back from them is what this Congress and this administration is doing by passing this health care law, by passing this financial regulatory reform law, is creating more uncertainty so that they can't put people back to work. They are frozen in place because they are so worried as to what the federal government is going to do to them.